Hi, the recording has started. Nate, can you just...
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you need it started?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just want to.
Yeah.
Cool. Chain, you good?
1 second. You said the chain?
Yes. Oh, you had an email marked for LD, but I just used someone marked for
Like my grand debate one?
email chain.
Yeah, perfect. Give me 1 second.
I was talking, you good?
It's the same guys.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome. The advantages and stability for security law, massive affordable U.S. present projected aggression for private charter and military buildup and miscalculation, pillar account 2020. Major presence on need for deterrence are crazy, emerging attacks, increasing number of options, surprisable of domination, issues can be accomplished with capabilities out of regime with the U.S. dipping the regional scale security for some, creates sustained security for others, resulting in less stability, security law, cause wrong to perceive threat and versus by enhancing on security, investing in military groups, deterrence, build up to war props, rebels, armless, aggressive posture, reducing security, and that's empirically proven. Maximum pressure campaign post October 7th search trigger line and launch out. Column 3-1. SDF took control of ISIS, highly unlikely who could search the U.S. attacking Iranian backed military military terror more than 165 attacks. We test the mountain groups for higher crossing, increasing ability and reduce deterrence to creating difficult individuals not fully aligned with the military capabilities. No thinking exponentially about general resolution by maintaining troops and multiple positional force of America to respond having fuel to go posture with these cycles without for attacks. U.S. to go down and Iran war goes nuclear April 2020. An attack on Iran escalated a large-scale war. Russia trying to be drawn in. Russian nukes used unintentionally or accidentally miscalculating war and war of world and environmental ecological catastrophe. Civilization master ozone layer population perished. And second is adventures of U.S. policy increases strategic temptation by lowering the cost of intervention, creating path dependency, generating policy inertia. Deficit 22. Current posture obscures true cost of war, so with the marginal cost lower temptation increase U.S. regard with military in the Middle East, too quickly close the whole avoid temptation to path dependency for being mutual war and terror, and Iraq proof all the infrastructure remain problems and some deliver overstraight rhetoric-based maintaining society of intervention due to religious beliefs. And current presence is self-perpetuating, new intervention justified to protect current forces, Pillar Account 2020. Presence is self-perpetuating, current tradition to justify in terms of force production, intuitively flawed as long as force is available, policy makes perennial speech on institutions, seeking big disputes, responsibilities, result of vulnerable required, seeking to get drawn down. And U.S. presence creates a racist culture of militarism that encourages ventures in Blackburn Quarter 21. Coursing politics activating that global power of war for Trump, permanent war, the institutional lives, and you can cite workers, assassinations, government inequality, social trade, emergency plus executive expensive Congress, and maybe builder, dominated oil, terrorists, just come home and the sector militants, leasing, regional divide, tropical planetary terrorism, immigration, Islam, and third is alliances, current U.S. posture grants, unlawful allies, reverse leverage, generates moral hazard, facilitating registered aggression, Blackburn Quarter 21. Commitment is on influence, mutual states resist demands, expensive commitment, diminish allies, research, defeated, holding, bulletin, instability, instability, paradox, cross, Turkey, Saudi, exotic, rotating, access, and living, so we're going to criticize the Congress, creating moral hazard, dependency, creating regional leverage, rules, city, women, influence, use, not drawing, cannot be dead, bird, rules, causing markets, for purpose of second, evil, raising commitment, bargain is dysfunctional, anxiety, playing, bargain, both of them, and everyone knows that ever expanding U.S. presence is unsustainable. The world is prepared for complete abandonment. Holy 23. Leaders warned of importantly out talking on society with Biden and for perception that withdrawals in the works. Afghanistan fits so widely believing for the U.S. has been an increasing movement to Asia, America for rhetoric, no doubt, the U.S. is actually increasing its footprint. And the perception that the U.S. is bogged down in West Asia generates strategic uncertainty that triggers acts on appropriate and undermines allied assurances. Blackburn Quarter 21. Middle Eastern commitments every opportunity also to turn to more important theories, abilities, and power increased by divestment of other commitments so going for the East Asian principle of reason and management of Saudi diminishing commitment to Pacific Korea force with enhanced ability to defend nation, European commitments increase credibility, alliance, and on check. And outside prices prevents Korea under Russian time feels political backlash and makes withdrawal inevitable. Option 22. Makes secure around its every in the Middle East, oil continuing Iran's nukes and countering terrorists could be through diplomacy, administrative operations, to come back once to schools in Arkansas, and then Afghanistan, over compensation, turn over region after region, withdrawal from its central governments in European stations, for other contemplating withdrawal from NATO and Japan into Europe and Asia, withdrawal not would set unsettled allies and implement after inviting numbers, intensifying around with stabilizing Europe and Asia, with a catalyst for collective action, Russia, the nation, the Ukraine, make clear that anything that is anything but satisfactory to Europe, neither should Kremlin and American troops not decamp for Europe, those suppressing challengeable, you contain Chinese horse stability and shared leadership, and great power war to every scenario and cause extinction, Claire 23. Nukes proliferate out the war with 3 are high, great power to make race to out new developed weapons like central capacity can escalate dramatically with news battle, DWs, unprecedented skill to accelerate competition on my international institution, you try to use related to your protection policy, reduce interdependence for your innovation, your create secure war tenders, make AI or higher technical safety, great power relations, influence collective action, and independently Middle East war goes global and nuclear, Pleasant 2020. Iran not revenge Mideast conflict is violent war from 3 strikes of air, take product series drawing in Russia, China, ships in the Gulf of Mali, have been involved in all sectors deployed in North Syria, making actually critical U.S. China, Russia, and Israel all have news with possession action, hypersonic, and nuclear exchange, and plan the United States on to substantially reducing military presence within the area of responsibility of Central Command in the West Asian North African region, reducing presence It's estimated to distributed basic architecture, Joyce and Walsh 21. NSS calls for right-tracking press and sphere forces to enhance deterrent U.S. officials stress the need to embrace a distributed basing allow for consolidation to control new small pieces outside our run server thriving, allowing new operational costs and reducing regional presence. And shifting for our currently aggressive posture to defensive distributed basing still enables us to respond in a crisis. Walsh 2020. Rethink basing architecture instead of a large permanent basing oscillation, solar distributed basing to more reduced presence to be powered to diplomacy and for greater flexibility and security for the Cold War time presence skip basing again as austere having transported permanent due to forever war for only missiles and people are basically destroy target US cannot quickly deploy to material never gonna overwhelm US missile defenses and crawling air bases more vulnerable attacks location liability US to tax small bases over to maintain a slim down presence limited counterterrorism security cooperation turns all over redundancies over capability to be rapidly reduce military footprint survivability for move away from major bases distributed resiliency to reduce reduce attractiveness of target requirements China and Russia more flexibility to respond to running provocations and that strengthens deterrence efforts and veterans and range and allies without completely abandoning the region. Brian actually skip that card and skip the next card framework. The standard is maximization of being preferred use of participating public actors and results different reuse explains all value pre 2015. Mutual institutions for action marking monitoring or trying to devise based on related on some common groups and realities such as to speak with regard to everything to be rule evil and for everything else and quality when also experience body came down to quality space say what people were saying even money and list live secrets will wrong for about bad and better for preservation good same for some purpose PGV distribution over experience and non-neutral efforts are possible 3 to 7. Science telling human or judgment on see natural and by judgment by how from most researchers and say by how to approach level from horse biological thing that links in ready for and over more to accommodate a whole to just inside of you maybe you saying that you got to rise and not to do the also wants to second speed reading your offer because ever personally the answer only spending and go back up. The plan of resolve regional security goals and creates a sustainable regional balance of power. Goals 21. U.S. must remove sweeping scales and allow regional states balance against sustainable regional order. The U.S. should distinctly run on its military presence over 5 to 10 years, immediately begin to structural regional powers allow them for air draw to make it to different escaping countries instead of these outer countries forever going home. Okay. I didn't read McBrien 23, the actual card portion, and I didn't read Passion 3 and Sound 2.
Yeah. Okay, good cross.
Yeah, let me just turn off. Okay, my sound's off. Good.
Okay. Oh, I should.
Oh, turn off your sound too.
Yeah. Actually, just to check, you can hear me, right? You can nod your head. To try. You can. Okay, great. Sorry. You guys mind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's talk about this Avery card. What is the word for why all of civilization becomes uninhabitable forever?
Yeah, and I can read more 1AR evidence on this question if you want to contest it, and then 1NC. 2 is that our card specifically says that it would cause an ecological catastrophe, quote, it would destroy civilization and much of the biosphere by blocking the hydrological cycle, destroying the ozone layer, and making it so that a bunch of all human, plant, and animal populations would perish.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's talk, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but let's talk about the plan. What does it look like to reduce military presence within the area of responsibility of Central Command? What does that reduction look like, or where does it occur?
In the area of responsibility of Central Command in the West Asian North Africa region.
Okay, what is that area of responsibility of Central Command?
It's most of West Asia plus Egypt.
Okay, plus Egypt, that's what we thought. You cut the McBride at the top, right? And you didn't, yeah. Okay, the green.
But I read goals.
Yeah, let's talk about the clear evidence. It just says that like bioweapons and like nuclear technology would like escalate. What's the justification or work for that?
Yeah, so specifically it talks about how if Russia or China feel emboldened because the U.S. is not properly deterring them or showing that we're serious about deterring them in Europe and South China Sea because we're so bogged down in the Middle East, that they'll feel that it's okay for them to do things like develop technologies that can become existential, such as nuclear weapons, bioweapons, autonomous weapons, because they're entering into an arms race because they think that they can beat the U.S. since the U.S. doesn't actually care about them.
Sure. What is the United States?
What do you mean, what is the United States?
Like the actor of the app, what is the United States?
Like, I don't know what you mean by that, the United States.
Sure. Is it like the Congress? Is it,
Whatever normal means is. You can read evidence about what normal means is if you want.
Does the app not, okay, that's then let's talk about the,
We think that asking us to specify passive resolution would be unpredictable and bad for debate.
okay, sure. Okay, wait, just to clarify again, Central Command is not all of West Asian North Africa, but it's like a specific region within it that like has some pieces like Egypt and also.
Yeah, so the Central Command in the West Asian North Africa region is CENTCOM, which is the thing that's like basically in charge of all of our military operations in the Middle East and West Asia, as opposed to AFRICOM, which is control of all of, which is responsible for all of Africa except for Egypt.
Okay, great. What is expected well-being?
Yeah, that's explained really well in our Green 2015 card, in which it contextualizes this to Bentham's arguments about pain and pleasure.
Yeah, why is pleasure good?
Yeah, that's explained really well in our Green 2015 card. There are a number of warrants for this. One is that it's the only way to resolve infinite regress, i.e., whenever you ask, like, why did you do anything, eventually that comes either to that increased our pleasure or decreased our pain.
Yeah. Often it's for the reasons.
Cool. Order on case.
Advantage, I guess, and then figure out the end by time.
Okay.
Just said a couple minutes. Or a minute.
Let me download it. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Oh, and let me go on mute. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, yeah.
First is interpretation aspects to produce all elements in the entire Western African region, the system stationary, no date, entirety of stationary aiming throughout which is the way activities is one part of justice, be administrated in countries with, in countries and violation of CENTCOM, which also do some places like Libya, which is conceded in cross-border for elements of graduate justice, in police all after requiring nuclear sex and critical engagement with practices like assurances and deterrence and need big regional links of the emphasize not jurisdictional and just like greater, just from transition drop the 200 states from scratch to future use, and reasonability doctrine, censoring and trying to convention, no RPS because they're illogical and instead of had no wonder to be endlessly allies with the two against law and every accident or answer with responses that force the judge to intervene to decide if they're sort of neural, which I always takes on other hands one see through assaults, although often speeches don't find out which takes out if news games the wonder sort of make it cause by teaching techniques anyways, and honest good logical activity should not take logical actions logic it's most logical proving alternative not wrong something to act as good logical action should not act moving should that sort of form of test logic I waste the best basically for all rational reaching that simple process and non-verbal opportunity customers running about better answer than keywords I did the cosmic principle above next topic is we take the three pillars of the preservation of society subjects are ontological criminalized and reformist ideologies only for the fundability the role of values is your essential analysis on any foundation to reject and after junior parts are complicit whether must accept the invitation to learn the data so that's within and outside the category listen and also even human there means their own language responsible to the point of second aliens has and take part to stand general so running other seriously on fundamental factors it's also criminalized after some central analysis and any foundation fail is the dark matter holding the robot that's the problem has any conservation and this will have higher positive factors reforms are social and real that the reasons for political positive tax and preservation of society and assumed historically by something the existence and is an above Afropessimism was also put into to bring these writing the average of the academy the implement them among everyone designing life and this one about society and face this is the evolution racism we invite universe with the tendency such that a few one accept that our theory of psychopathology is scientifically proven star 20 why 20 for US universes psychologists for levels however so the just get discrimination harassment reaction have a trying to civil constitution black is race wrong even when hundreds of cases like criminals to be here to move forward that's like doing refugees that's about police social black anyways it's not about it's like picking up Asian African communities outside of the human family and reducing presence as a guide to America is tied to worldwide lying blackness which may use violence to export imperialism. The question of American empowerment exists in the first Angelo 16 food was the future of America's acceptance either said or not take seriously separate acceptance of the imperialist part or violence required or the other the violence of immersion the other art violence of immersion right imperialism of the violence fascist violence and on top of culture really to lower level of repression as a part of his type keeps your mass security nothing mass on the balance as your degree on everything so a crucial delivery the question of what constitutional public and who is right the slave contract and limiting the others that generate time thus the only alternatives to burn the ship will just 20 the avoid as transfer projects as people not that much of the and social that is also true by the imaginary for the said weaknesses as well as destroyed by the first time is assume much position and the burn ship and its information to inside out people are often sexually military position this is understandable if possible and next off is kind of in the arts just to place its Ohio class submarines within the area of responsibility of central command and investigation and repurpose them with fully aquatic refugees for civilian use the data shows long-term survivability from nuclear war and is a lot of people church in the 2017 humanity conversion of the Ohio class submarines Mediterranean and refugees trying to survive nuclear war from around 200 years without making like this in the room survive the race and accidental waste, prevention, people who remembers books, producing additional equipment for survival, submarines and providing reaction or cost different order and create carriers with assessing biological attacks without interruption of military duties. People really accidental waste against wide range and skip the next off for now. Go to the case station. The turn probably need a new sheet notes from nuclear conflict understanding. Turn nuclear effects on like the cosmic robots, some publishing survive, human consciousness misrepresented by scientific community uncertainty, and economic relation from will be still be lost off 10 years. 10 years probability was 1 in 100,000 terms of robots to drastically distinguish exist to give time to adapt answer, include the most likely, more compelling officials are aware of the risk, minimum public and reject new one, of course, was trying to get on the lack of terminal effects, so they didn't try to see, but once he evidence solves this, there is just that it causes environmental damage, but never gets the point of saying that it actually kills everyone else. The GPC evidence is not sort of discredited, the evidence is asserts that it would be used without a war, but that technology wouldn't be developed if a nuclear war happens anyway, which resulted as American first strike, which shares not sort of about, and ultimately people will perish, which it just says people will start perish, which is not about killing everyone, since the world will become more habitable over time, and the kind of which result in humans are and the element of hazardous events, technologies are trying to teach tomorrow. There's a trying to perhaps new goal, human perish, civilization is not yet, or to the time again, we've already to fossil fuel centers in modern industrial society. You can talk about metal class, or since fertilizer civilization with renewables and greater use of new ones. What do you think is the solar power not be the way that everyone society early in industrialization and war now we kind of talk about only as later church 22 and chance of progress to greater development to bounties of the reactor plutonium as separation or nuclear arsenal space leaders become global small increasing needle war shares in the use of nuclear and other options would increase their effects on these means become available in the 21st century and cause humans should be decades from now with technology advanced nuclear change worst case will causing the nuclear extinction artificial superintelligence will be misaligned causing extinction equality 21 the centuries will intelligence each other to the source of current systems are intelligent have access to progresses made by artificial response 7% probability that 30 years there are operators including any software reactions horizontally thesis says that there are between intelligent and world and convergence thesis says that goes on research vision in order to achieve this goal to make an earth inhabitable for life and align as regardless of then align and technology with asterisks that are extinction momentarily achieve technology like this risk structure treat all something not risk equipped and that's power and have effect measurable large amounts of different transition colonization population is operating entailed possible microeconomic cost of disinvestment extremely impossible and imminent graphene production scales up and kills us all 2024 we talked about this and neither are accessible have enough to be provided operated method pretty strongly sense of global scale of the mass production of universe and biological accumulated stuff which you'll ever possible against cells open killing them go to back to the 4,000 federal 50 states and relevant national actors should suspend the human nutrition of federal programs until the systems within the area responsibility of central command reduces military presence within substantially reduces military presence within the area of responsibility of central command in western Africa region. I amended the context and complete the soft conditional dependent gets results in federal option and aggressively sensual something Bloom 20 whether system rivals federal standards depends on German central power to be tracked on states change federal losses reducing commitment to national and reflect this federal local different enforcement and contract responsibility federal making more far more cooperative and federal which makes governance possible which causes extinction of office from 2019 here's warming and countries or symptoms of our faith the government into the federal politics politics and social interest and public negotiations and possible unbalanced system never get lost in solutions pure dysfunction we need a reform system for specific priorities but return back to states go back to the framework go down to the framework page social that way is true fear of death is actually fear of death without meaning intellect describes no tradition your calculations of pleasure and inherently lying collective bonding over statistic balance even through progress bullshit 2020 measures was more than death appears in the meetings where they are clear street events that anyone can read sell one but just being a fair sheet relationship just satisfaction from our flesh the reason transgressions are roots ripples of life force like what's like serves use the order of myself this is only fair abstraction with all this satisfaction pleasure bonding is ubiquitous as well as matures violence taking serious evidence provide evidence for this violence repression.
Mark that back repression and delete the last one.
Cool. Let me unmute. Awesome. Status of the off.
Everything's finished.
Cool. The only things you exempt were the answers to
Everything was in it.
Avery? Really?
It was. I don't think I tagged it, but it was underneath the line.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got you.
Because I just sort of remember that. So.
Okay, then I just want to make sure I get all of the interps. Reject new 1AR impact cards. Condo good. The T in, like you must be full res. And no 1AR theory. Did I miss anything?
Those are the only theory arguments.
Okay,
There's no other independent voters. I didn't hide anything in this.
No tricks. Awesome. Let's talk about decay.
Sure.
What does burning the ship mean?
It looks like everyone assuming their position within civil society and refusing to,
Assuming their position within civil society?
understanding their position in civil society and taking it as a starting point to burn civil society in its entirety.
What do you mean burn civil society?
To reject every,
Do you fiat that the state doesn't exist?
No, we don't necessarily fiat that. We just fiat that, you shouldn't view the alternative through like a model of solvency, but rather you should think about it in the context of framing. Our argument is that we assume people's
Okay, so the alt is just we should change our thinking.
It's not really.
But you don't fiat that we change our thinking.
I think
you're saying we should change our thinking within this round.
Kind of. I mean,
Okay,
that's
so
not
people-
the alternative. Sure, go ahead.
People have been reading Afropessimism Ks for decades now. What makes this round any different?
It's not like I'm going for like a pre-fiat claim that like I'm able to resolve anything.
Then I'm a little bit confused what you're going for because you just said the alt isn't the question of the alt is not about solvency, and now you're saying
It's
that we
about-
don't even do anything in this debate round.
Well, our argument is that if you've done something that we say is bad and the alternative resolves
Okay, what
that,
have we done other than say that the United States should
that
stop
is
killing
precisely
black and
what-
brown people?
no,
Sorry.
your idea that the United States can just stop doing that is precisely what we critique in Durham arguments.
Oh, okay. So saying
Because it ends up-
sorry, so I'm gonna make this clear. Saying that the United States should stop killing Muslims is bad. We shouldn't say that.
No, that's not our argument. Our argument is that the way that the plan does that is just unable to resolve that, and that it results in like exporting violence back to the United States, which is probably bad. Like I think you're trying kind of trivializing.
How do we export violence back to the United States?
Well, you can obviously contest that in your speech, but that's the Angelo.
Well, I'm asking how.
Sure, that's the Angelo evidence. Our argument is that regardless of reductions that happen externally, if I win my ontology arguments, every single action that is supposedly progressive or resolving something just results in it going deeper underground, which means that like the military arms that would go
let's
be
talk
reduced
about-
would just
let's
go
talk about
reduced
T.
returns.
What ground did you lose by me reading this affirmative?
Every
What dissad? Why can't you read assurances? We decrease our military presence in Saudi Arabia, Israel, etc.
Because you also, you also result in like, you still keep bases there. Like the whole reason that this app is strategic is because it keeps some bases that allow for you
But
to.
the topic says reduce, to be clear. I don't understand how a whole res app when it also keeps some bases.
Because the topic also says region and in, which we've defined as, and reduce, meaning that reduce must exist.
Cool. I'll start running prep now. You read everything in the doc, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Or last card I cut at. I didn't read the last card, and the second to last card I cut at repression.
Cool.
Just repression, yeah. I'm gonna get card real quick.
Cool. And prep. I should have.
3:30.
Thank you. 3:30. Okay, I'll send out the doc, then I'll say the order. Oh, it's email chain, not file share. Cool, it's been sent. Order is case. The framework arguments will be on the K though. Then T in, anti-blackness K, bunkers counterplan, uncooperative federalism. Let me know when y'all are good. Alright. Oh, Hina, you good?
Can you say that one more time?
Yes. It's case top down, the framing stuff will be on the K. T in, the anti-blackness K, the spark uniqueness counter plan, than the uncooperative federalism kind of thing. Awesome.
The doc's loading for me, but it'll probably be good.
No problem. Just let me know when you're good. Everyone?
Let's go.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm done.
Current water presence speeds, escalatory securely numbers, give out reverse leverage, increase path of still opposite as external regional war, overshot guarantees, great power coupled with Russia, China kills cooperation, makes longer the spectrum for that's like nuclear war, savaging animals, distributed basic solves, scaling down, the size of trees from races, for short term currency, US credibility, the 20C walls are on, spark, yes, new 1AR evidence is key to track, it's key to answer new NC currency that can predict everything they're going to possibly say in the NC, which means you have to give me the 1AR in order to respond, which outweighs because of clash and enables better education, because we're able to incentivize staff topic education. Second, you get more cause extinction, most recent study the fact that we posted their evidence outweighs for two reasons. One, it means that we use the most recent computational models, and two means that their evidence assumes a world where we would have fewer nuclear weapons. Well, 22. Are these range mass extinction ways will all have common secret computational rapid scale when it comes to extinction, we work on nuclear winter, will assume include spread blocks, online crops, with their world tower, will draw 90% of this would reduce computational presence, even limited nuclear war would have global effect on climate virus, would release more as 47 million tons of assume using computational war, climate change estimate effects of cooling and damage to the ozone would have. And on the overview on their scenarios is one is that clearly turns as it says that great power would increase the risk of us developing bad technology both as we enter into arms race and as global cooperation decreases. Second, that there's no effect on AI. October 2015. Doomsday prophecies are grounded in false analogy computing all the dangers that you only need to react into the AI will have no need of such a much relief that ASI would be able to assume the computer computers that include psychological traits, AI to self-use protectors, hierarchical, alpha psychology, AI will develop no desire and I will never occur to take such actions until AI would be unable to do anything. The only way for this to happen would be to still allow it, because they are allow it. And S risk of no, the universe is durable in 2014. Is there anything we can do that destroy the universe? No, the universe is durable, never reverse, really have some big black collapse regularly. These all occur on a scale with the power that exponentially sees anything we need to produce for a long time, no creature do any harm. We have to don't have to do anything the world isn't already doing, that the card are doing. And on the graphene stuff, one is on by decades of plastic and graphene, and second is that there's no terminal impact. It never says extinction or anything. TN. A counter prediction, A doesn't mean throughout. Mary Monster D. A became inclusive future position with limits in the lake in the summer. B specifically true of region. Oxford advanced letter predicted no restriction. And D large area without its island limits or borders in the region. Species have been discovered in the Amazon region across throughout the planet south throughout the region. A preferred plenty essay one air theories only check back against potentially infinite NC abuse, which outweighs all their arguments. Second, the law of almost completely the entire revolution. Basically all of us Asia plus Euro 3 specific aspects of mutable using one air research for fairness, conscious, cosmetic, still dictionaries like their terms, insurance, public national security, came forward, so limiting their interest skills argument in nature, church, arbitration, remains negatively when you can only make one case, 95 critically so on ceiling, only matches the parts produced better class, if you know, office disclosure, functional limits, checking able to solve the advocates. Center's feasibility for interest feasibility, probably convenient interest of several life safety theory concepts of the crowd out. Skip the rest, anti-blackness. One, the rollout of Sherman's ability planet kills the substance of arbitrary radiations, and when you see Sherman can't touch out, just making interest enjoying creators of cloud media, have to get better of all any color systems and all your pure fire movement, going for the future functions in place, being nonsense of planes, good idea, they're not getting variable seeds, no blue calls making the genes out of all supreme, all seasons, proximate cause seconds, extinction always everything that also they need to have zero reversals, interconnection, cause of mass transfer, rock people, assumption that no loss for values, so external, sympathetically false are off, having both structural violence impact and big switch areas, whose time to be trained on third purpose, I would never shield the link or never just let up, solve the question, fourth, and wrong, and the all fails, A, so usuals and wrong decisions, just have restricted or a framework for 2018. Race versus diminished institutional victory doesn't only within individual versus gaining the SLC, like back years, black man, and constituting the game of literature, pursue policy, right, don't use martial law, change, reverse, rules, will develop racial discrimination, defense, and support jobs, good Carter jobs, and no link in turn, only our reptiles, cultures that evolve, military in the Middle East, in search of patriots, if you're running the home from that slide in a quarter, I'm inserting it here. Spark uniqueness counterclaim. One perm to both, second people can't solve, people will say inside social distancing proves three, but commercial solve, Claire 2018. Reports of leaking never received lies that today with public knowledge, never shelters, never survived, each bomb with legal career, never 20 story deep bomb, ready to say you have mistake, also call off shelters, also angel to shaky bed, anytime when we one bomb, when we any we die, and on carbon federalism. One perm to both, the shields and link, it looks like running this week, pressure about the same second serve, doing counterclaim, but it takes into account until predictable states before an ground, LIND. United States 50 states and any other territory, and 8 theories that can't solve 8 by 1 cop funding, Durham 2015. First capable of causing harm, but United States 5 resisting the to extensive peace, perception, and delays, incentivized short-term escalation, maximize global class, involved in the U.S. and going nuclear, and inserting goals right here, and there's no spillover. Banner 20. There's no reason why uncarbon federalism on one issue spills over to other issues.
federalism. I should not use it. Orders, topicality, uncooperative federalism, subs counterplan, the critique.
Sorry. Topicality, uncooperative federalism, subs, counterplan, anti-blackness.
Yeah.
Cool.
Uh,
Are there any parts?
or
Awesome. I'm good.
Topicality, I'm not going for it. Conceded nor reactor shouldn't get any offense on it. Uncooperative federalism, I'm not going for it. It was conditional. Which conceded has been good because computer testing it. It's most logical. Also conceded that the US is 50 states, which ultimately they can't solve because it said that the Biden would have funding for individual states, which means they can't solve the advantage. The subs campaign not going for it as well. It's conditional. Okay. You should frame this round through multiple concessions on the reformist community. If I went ontology, the potential of legitimate reform within civil society is doomed, which zeroes off solvency. Reforms merely move the puzzle pieces of black suffering around, which furthers insidious source of violence. That means a 1% risk of either alternative solvency or any external offense means that you will vote negative. They say favorite, but you should use a favorite of century analysis and implementations outweighs because everyone black and all that. Or junior partners must engage in theories of social death to proliferate pessimism outside of the hour tower, which is the Wilderson 17 evidence. Ontology is logically prior, regardless of your because asking what we should do presupposes how do we view the world, which means that if I win that the rhetorical assumptions are wrong, so is there advocacy. For example, both Trump and Wilderson probably oppose the plan, but the stories behind their advocacy influences sort of how and why the implementation occurs, which is justification of some representation involvement in determining whether it is something that's good or bad. The rhetorical form of the framework is anti-black, it completely eliminates the rhetorical form of the framework is inherently anti-black because it will completely eliminate candidate and analysis of anti-black suffering, which every single alpha just go for attention always behind, which causes exclusion and patterns, all their sort of all this sort of fairness and education office, because you can't have a fair educational debate if you're not included in the process, and they cannot win cases until just for their ontological back in political simulations and in 45 minutes, but internalized racism stays with awesome liberties endless control sponsorship that way any momentary loss of fairness also means that the risk of insufficient to negate because it proves that the alphas and the back comes first in the exclusion, even if you can't solve representation at the top of the round. Our arguments, if you do something bad or if I win anything in the debate, then that's the reason why the judge should not go for you, because you should not go for an anti-black alpha to concede it from the bottom attack, and we meet their interest because all we prove that the alpha is undesirable, proving that it's epistemology that's bad. They say fairness, but all we presume that the game is redeemable, which we've impacted to ontology, which I'll do in a minute. We're also not unpredictable. They chose the advantage, so they should justify them if I win the link to the way that the plan is implemented, and I was sort of reading a link that when gonna win the link that sort of to the way that the plan is implemented, but fairness also shouldn't matter if the content of the alpha is unethical. If sending blackness makes the game break, then he should not hesitate to take that risk and penalty, because it also skews your inevitable and classification and abuse, which is in the 1C, which means that the fairness often should be relevant clashes wrong. It's a question of what we clash over, and mooting is inevitable because the picks, theory, nibs, etc., and all sort of classification and abuse stuff should apply there as well. Also, as catharsis just said, since it resolves the links, but winning a link should be sufficient because catharsis is bad. It shouldn't just reward people who have sort of taken an anti-black action. Winning only consequences of the alphas are good, which is the second argument there. And even if I'm not going to go for any root cause arguments, but even then I should probably be able to go for that because the alternative would resolve any root issues that are causing it. The genies only the bottom of the context of civil society. The ontology debate I'll do here is that civil society is parasitic on blackness first existence from slavery to Jim Crow to the prison industrial complex. Even if we hide violence, it will always just reconfigure itself, which is the Wilderson 17 evidence. There's a few words of social death that are conceded. One is gratuitous violence. It's conceded that structural antagonism proves that deaths of George Floyd or Trayvon Martin are not distinct from the murder of Emmett Till. That anti-blackness lacks a contingent reason or any transgression because civil society relies on it for its coherence. Second, they've conceded natal alienation, the middle passage, ruptures, family relations, gender, and cultural ties, all which means that all humanizing aspects of blackness were stripped and only granted to the content of state master. But the bigger issue is general sorrow. They've conceded that blackness is disgrace, and they've conceded scientific evidence that proves that they dropped the STAR evidence, which is the peer-reviewed journal of which cites Everhart, who conducted hundreds of tests over the past 20 years and looked at how people react to different races and conclude that blackness is internally placed outside the human family, which proves that the app is something that which proves our ontology stuff, which is conceded from the one here. The extinction of ways stuff. You should not give them the 2 hour humility on framing and extinction of ways because they've conceded that their framing argument for impact calculation on is that the framing should be that it is unethical to be free in a world of slaves. Here's what your argument must answer. If the world relies on anti-black suffering, should the world, civil society, or humanity continue to exist? Our argument is that any risk to ontology too would turn ethicality because there is no just world that's anti-black and it causes endless suffering, which turns people to value life because future generations cannot feel the pain. Independently, they have completely conceded the evidence that are meant on the sort of case page. They've dropped that they've dropped that our arguments of social death necessarily outweigh their conception of pain and pleasure. They've conceded that their conception of pain and pleasure inherently relies on continual exploitation of black flesh, which is a link argument as well, which is what is part of evidence. They dropped that the impact is wide satisfaction. The spectacle of black pain is what civil society sees as pleasure, which makes it very and started point in and of itself. Collective sadistic dehumanization causes even children to gaze in satisfaction, and it's proven now by the spectacle of black death in the media, which also destroys our ontology stuff. The permutation argument that permutation is relevant if I win ontology because it means it's all the cruel total opposites instead because they pretend that they're actually helping black bodies, but they're actually just making the violence continue to repress, which also answers their sort of fifth no-link/lynching idea, because that is something that's not actually able to resolve the mental welfare of one. Lava line implementation of one is absolutely bad faith. The Wilderson evidence says that inclusion of the act, just white instinct to just claim to help, but only if it's in sort of interest of sovereignty. The alternative is all or nothing. It's completely exclusive because the permutation refuses to destruct the world nor enter the abyss of non-existence, which laws are often forces us to have a sort of compromise. I'll extend the alternative. I'll extend the alternative here. The alternatives burn the shit. They didn't really deficit, but you shouldn't really just obviously about the framing of the one that they want to see scholarship is in the back and equal perception. The alternative assumes not black people's role in such a which thereby destroys it unconditionally by burning the ship in all possible ways and forms, recognizing the void of social transmission might be painful, but it's the only ethical action that people can advocate. So you should err in the negative. That's a Wilderson evidence. Again, nothing's without a debate, but the AF just demands a reason for the AF lacks the reason why they sort of necessitate a reason to vote for them. But our argument is that their epistemes are bad or anti-black, and they should just not vote for them. Second, that they shouldn't get perms in a method. If a win for they can only perm their advantage, and they can only perm their advantage and explain why anti-blackness happens in the first instance. If they can't then negate. But third, all insert dissent, which means that permutation sets ourselves rather, which is voted for white accountability, and shift means they conceded the usual link above, but independently they have dropped the military instinct. The resolution asks us the wrong question. Reduction will still demand existence of American empire somewhere, which is exactly what critique as justifying the global review of regime anti-blackness. The impact of pessimism, which in this case it justifies continual intervention and perpetual presence for sake of exterminating black bodies who are relegated to a lower level. The alternative is fatalistic, is pessimistic, which also should take out the readout. It had 0 borns, and the one that was not contextualized Afropessimism, which should probably take it out. But also the alternative was only the linker, but Celia did that above. Ontology would take it out because it goes away. Framework was very mishandled to drop the argument for why our offense outweighs its injury.
Cool. I have 3 voters left, starting now. No independent voters, right?
No, just the case.
case 50 states counterclaim K. Hina, order is case 50 states counterclaim in K. Hina, you good? Okay. Awesome. Just grab this. The fact that they drop case means you should prefer the specificity of our scenarios over the vagueness and generality of their negative K. The overjudged guarantees great power conflict reduction in China that kills cooperation makes a laundry list of excellent threats like nuclear war and climate change generally. Only way to solve this is by withdrawing our military presence so we have more stuff to focus on. We have more weapons to focus on Russia and China, and in order to deconstruct the threat, in order to not force Iran through a security dilemma into provoking us into a nuclear war on the 50 states counterclaim. A is that person has accomplishment and non-rational advocacy. So you should disregard the evidence that I read in the 1AR. B is it's not terminal defense. They haven't read any offense. It's actually connected to literally what the affirmative does. So even if our solvency is diminished, it's not completely got rid of. Risk of an F outweighs. Okay. I'm going to start on the ontology debate. If I win that ontology is not true, then it destroys A, the thesis of the K, B, all their framework arguments, which are all about why advancing, because their role of valid is tied to ontology, C, their link, which is only cruel optimism, and 4, which is their impact, which is only social death claims. The fact that they have not specifically answered the re-2018 card means that it's game over for them to win ontology. They have to win that things have not improved for Black Americans since the Middle Passage. It is not my job to prove that anti-Blackness doesn't exist or that racism is not a problem, but only that racism can be diminished, that racism has been getting better over time, and that people are not terminally improved, which is super easy. All they've done is listed examples of racism continuing to exist, which is not the argument we're making, just that it is diminished, i.e. our re-2018 card gives really good specific examples such as Martin Luther King and the SCLC, which were able, like FDR's Black Cabinet, to give leverage to pursue policy agendas. For example, Philip Randolph was able to use the March on Washington in order to pressure Roosevelt to do things that were good for Black Americans, like prohibiting racial discrimination in the national defense industry and support for a job program, which you should prefer because it's best this example is specific to the military-industrial complex and says that there are changes that can be made within the military in order to make lives better for Black people. Their only other argument here was a science argument, which is too bad because their discrimination is true argument. A doesn't prove that it can't be changed, and B is disproven empirically. People are not psychosomatically meant to be anti-Black. Independently, on their social death claim, they conceded the assertion that no Black person values their life is paternalistic and patently false, proven by the fact that not all Black people have killed themselves yet. I'm accepting the PERD, there's no link in turn. That was our Black Reporter 21 card, which specifically says we challenge a culture of militarism which uses a military intervention abroad in order to deter abroad in order to justify violence at home. Think about how the Patriot Acts and our military incursions in Iraq sort of encourage surveillance of Black and brown Muslim Americans at home, which proves that reducing military presence would actually make racism less bad at home. A is that this is a turn on the level of representations, which means that there's no need to win framework. You can go back and read our Black Reporter card. B, it disproves ontology because it proves things get better for Black people. And C, should prefer the specificity of our evidence. There's no card in the 1 and C about sort of the militarism. Independently, though, I'm winning the framework debate because you have to weigh the advocates and come out of all. You prefer the catharsis. There's no argument free of ideology, which means go over leaves material impressions in place